What is going on, everybody? It is the Viking Weeb, and I'm back at it again with the Gentlest of Men podcast. I'm still solo for episode 2, but I have been informed for episode 3 we will be joined by none other than No Name Gaming from Twitch. He is a member of the Bucket Brigade as well. You know him as Wyatt. He will be joining us next week for episode 3. But for this week, you still got me. But I should be enough. Hopefully, I'm enough. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. But before we do, let me just say this is going to be your news podcast. Everything from games to anime, recommendations on TV shows, ratings 1 through 10, and giving you the latest and greatest on what's upcoming, as well as streams and other events. So, let's get into it here. All right, PowerPoint. Super cool, right? All right, so Song of the Week. I want to start off with Song of the Week. If you haven't listened to Wicked Game by him off the Volume 666 from 1997, you need to listen to this. Out of all the songs out there that exist that are remakes of other songs, I know this generation's pretty hung up on Sound of Silence by Disturbed. I don't think that does it. I don't think that can take the cake. Wicked Game by him is by far the greatest remade song of all time. Better than the original. By far. Sorry, not sorry. So if you haven't given it a listen, please do so this week at least once. If you want to pause the podcast to jump over and listen to it real quick on the YouTube music, go ahead and do it. So, coming up here, we still have Oktoberfest coming up, right? So that means we'll be seeing lots of demos dropping on Steam. We should be seeing that come around the 14th to the 21st around 10 a.m. Pacific time. We'll be seeing a lot of these drop. There's going to be a lot of early access games as well as demos that come out. So be on the lookout for that. Big stuff for this next coming, I want to say 2 weeks here, September 24th. Yep, we'll have the DLC for Remnant 2, The Dark Horizons. I know when this game first launched, it looked amazing. So we will see. We actually just got this news yesterday. So this is pretty cool. I don't know if you all love Remnant 2, but I loved Remnant 1. I thought that was amazing. Remnant 2 is just as good. I don't know how they made a sequel to the first one that was on par with their previous content. So that's amazing. That's amazing to see. I'm very happy about this one. Excited for it. Mark your calendars. As well as Backrooms Media. Now, I did stream this already. Be on the lookout for it in October as a part of our Spooktober season. But this by far is one of my favorite Backrooms games so far. It is basically you are playing a found footage game. I will be actually getting this game as soon as I leave this podcast. I do want to try it out. I promised everyone that I would play this game. It just looks cool. All the other Backrooms games they're pretty good, but I think this one takes the cake. I really do. I think this one takes the cake. So be on the lookout for this. Try to pick it up while it's in early access. And let's get out there. Next, Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2. You all know everyone's tracking this game releasing, right? Now, it already came out for a lot of people, but do remember it did also drop on the 9th for everyone that didn't pre-order the Deluxe or Ultra Edition. So you are now able to go play that. I'm assuming you already have. You don't need me to tell you. But for those of you in the dark on this, please go reach out. Go grab that game. It is a load of fun. The multiplayer is not bad either. Do not listen to the Bucket Brigade when it comes to the multiplayer content. That was a crazy stream. I was having a blast. I was doing good. I was having fun. Them, on the other hand, I think I threw them off. That might be on me. But yes, let's dive into it here. On the next little stop, we'll have our anime news. Now, I'm not going to give you anything crazy this week, and that's because we'll be getting our anime awards. I want to do it with somebody. I don't want to do it solo. So that's why we're going to wait till next week when No Name Gaming joins us. So tune in then, and you get to see the winners of 2024 and our picks. They're not going to be the same. So it's probably good to have that variation. Current watches and review. Kevin can F himself. Now, I will say I did finish this both seasons. So I'm not only going to tell you this is a current watch, I'm going to give it a review. This wasn't a bad show. I know in the first episode of the Gentlest of Men podcast, I said this was one of my current watches. And I said I found myself often wondering why the main character chose the decisions that she made. And additionally, I kind of felt like that for a lot of characters. Why are you making these decisions? Why are you doing this? And I feel like, taking a back seat for a second, if you go back and you watch the first season, the main character does say she's dealt with this lifestyle for like 15 years. And at that point, you know what? You're right. I don't even care what decisions you were thinking about making or what you did make, whether it be poor, great. You know what? You made it. You made it. Great review. So spoilers are ahead. For those of you who don't want spoilers, skip about 30 seconds. I'm really happy at the end of this that Kevin got pulled out of that light. That light that was consistently the backstage lighting, the comedy of the show. He finally got pulled out of it. We watched character by character get pulled out of that limelight. I'm very happy to see Kevin finally lost it. He lost that light. Nothing was fun anymore. He wasn't that happy, giddy character. He became a monster. Like, when that was shed, yeah, he became a monster. When that was gone, he was nothing. He wasn't a great guy. Wasn't a great person. So overall, very happy with that. The ending was good. It was solid. It's not what I expected. I was still upset with the way some of the characters were left at the end of their story. But it's as good as it could have been. Overall, I'm going to give this a 7.6. This was pretty good. I did intentionally go out of my way to watch this show. So 7.6, definitely worth a watch if you haven't watched it yet. Also, still currently watching that Tower of God, Return of the Prince, which is our Season 2. This is pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Season 1 just blew everything they could have done out of the water. The most memorable moments so far have been the fight scenes. They did them pretty good. The story's still there. I'm super excited about that. Hopefully I can binge through it by the end of this weekend, and I can give you a good rating on it next week. So be on the lookout for that as well. All right, this is a new segment of our show where I'm going to dive into recommendations I'm going to give this week. I'm going to try to max out at 2, but sometimes you will see 1. So the most common recommended anime for new anime nerds is Death Note. Okay, so if you're an old head, a new head, new into anime, just trying it out, give Death Note a try. It's pretty easily bingeable. It's pretty easily digestible. It's got a really cool story, and to be honest with you, it's still, to this day, very unique. Very unique. And that's crazy saying that because there have been a lot of anime that have come out since Death Note debuted. So if you haven't watched it, give it a watch. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. Should be also on Crunchyroll. You can stream it just about anywhere. But the big one that I really want to touch on, and I'm even going to give my third or fourth rewatch here, is Yu Yu Hakusho. I can't stand people that haven't seen this. This is such a good one. It's got that old school, early 2000s, late 90s anime vibe to it. Everyone is their own individual character, and they get their own character progression throughout the entire story. It's super great, easily bingeable, and by far, in my unadulterated, keto-friendly opinion, the best tournament in anime history. Period. So if you like fighting anime and you loved the Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Z or the World Tournament, you should give this a watch. Get to that tournament there. I believe it's in season 2, towards the end. Best tournament in anime history, period. I won't take any ifs, ands, or buts on that. All right. End of the show, Talking Corner. So I did add a little talking points down below for your reference. So next podcasts, you should see and expect from this channel at least one a week. Trying to put one a week out there where I'm going to give you the latest and greatest on the news, what's happening, basically everything you just watched with whatever's current. It won't always just contain a song of the week, anime, games, and a TV show, current watches. There's going to be special guests. There will be pop culture. There might be some events going on. We might even talk about what's going on in the news today. That's at least as relevant, right? Because not a lot of us care about everything that's going on in the news. So we will talk about what is relevant. I'll also let you know what streams are going to be going on. So as of right now, the Bucket Brigade does drop one stream a week. We stream on Sundays. Eastern time, we're looking around 6 a.m., and then as far as streams from the Viking Weeb, I will be pushing one out. Hopefully one a week on top of the podcast, sometimes 2 a week. And then for our October season, I'm trying to get and maintain one over the weekend and one during the week, so you can have something to look forward to throughout the Spooktober seasons. There will be Bucket Brigade and No Name Gaming collabs coming to the Gentlest of Men. They are, in fact, the Gentlest of Men with myself, to include other members and other co-hosts and co-anchors that will be joining us as well. So be on the lookout for collabs. Like I said, we should see No Name Gaming coming up next week. And then topics of interest. I would like to leave this section open for a majority of our viewers. So throw down in the comments below stuff that you want to see more on. Let me know exactly what you would like to have more explained. As far as topics of interest right now, I would like to point out that Monster Hunter Wilds has dropped more information on their new game coming out in Q1 2025. We're looking at February, by the way. It's supposed to be just this massive open world game, and I'm so excited for it. You can ask anybody, even the Bucket Brigade members. Monster Hunter is my cup of tea. I play Monster Hunter like it's going out of style. So I'll tell you right now. The news that they dropped on us is there will be in each biome, each ecosystem, there will be an apex monster. And for the first time in Monster Hunter series, these monsters, they're not just like a subspecies. They're not just like how we saw in Rise, where the apex monsters drop, an apex scale of some sort, or they drop maybe an extra material for crafting. No, they're going to be their own subspecies in a way. So we might get to see new weapons come out of them, maybe a higher rarity of weapons of their regular tree. They didn't specify if one specific monster in that biome would be the apex, or if any monster could develop an apex. So food for thought, we might see monsters become apexes after we hunt bigger monsters around them. So it would kind of be cool to see the Great Jaggy make a return, and you wipe out most of the biome, and all of a sudden there's an apex Great Jaggy. I'd be scared of that. If I was rocking a rarity 1 weapon. Anything else, I should be fine. Or I should say, for that matter, anyone should be fine. Additionally, I do want to throw in, there are some movies to be on the lookout for, specifically for this Halloween season. I want to mention The Crow. The Crow got a remake, right? The one with Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee, the original series. I think they made like 4 of them. I think Brandon Lee was only in 2. In fact, they probably came out with more. Let's be honest. It's The Crow. It got such bad reviews, and I haven't seen it yet. But from the trailers that I've watched and the information that I know, and I just gave The Crow a rewatch like a few months ago, I can't see how this is gonna be bad. I don't even care if the acting's dog shit. The concept of The Crow is such a great written story, it would be hard to mess it up. I feel like the critics out there today are just they're pushing everything down because they have a job that they want to keep. They don't want the AI or the community to steal their jobs. That's what I think. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But overall, it looks good. I will give my opinion and rating on it whenever I do see it. We will have to wait a few more weeks here at the minimum for it to actually come out and come to either in theaters or in home theaters, something like that. So I will give my rating on it then. But this is where I leave you. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Gentlest of Men podcast. I appreciate you for coming through. Be sure to check out the rest of them, and I'll make sure you get to at least get one a week to refresh your palate and reset you for the rest. So I appreciate you for coming out, and as always, good night.